Hi guys, welcome to this video. This is my microphone cable, so I need it here, so sorry if it's, in the shot, but, Okay, so I did a video on my least favorite Led Zeppelin songs. It was a great place to start, everybody does their favorites, so I decided to do something different. You watched it and you left comments on the video. So I took all your comments and I extracted, the information, and I made this graph right here. And this graph has the most frequent instances of songs you don't like based on the comments. So I decided to do this video and defend the songs you don't really like. So I'll give you my reasons why I think the songs you don't like are actually great and worth listening to. I'll do the honorable mentions first. So you chose the bottom of the list, the following tracks. We have Battle of Evermore, You Shook Me, I'm Gonna Crawl, The Lemon Song, Your Time Is Gonna Come, Friends, how can you not like Friends? All My Love, Thank You, The Ocean, T for One, Poor Tom, and Living Loving Maid. I'll do the top 10 from here on. Royal Orleans from Presence. This one, I can understand why some people may not like it because of Robert's vocals. It's more of a playful storytelling thing, but the music is a tight funk unit. Funk rhythms of the highest order. The drums, bass, and guitar parts really come together, and if you play the song, whether it's the bass or the guitar parts, it's really tricky. Plus we get the famous Robert Plant Whiskers reference, so a fun piece for a complicated album to make. Okay, number 9, and this one I find it funny that it's so often mentioned as your least favorite, not only for the video I made last time, but for other videos I've made. There's always somebody trashing Hats Off to Roy Harper from Led Zeppelin 3. First, I think Hats Off to Roy Harper is a traveling band spirit song. You feel it's a campfire, it's late at night, they're just, moving city through city. It's 1970. You feel it's a jam session after an excruciating day of work. It carries the acoustic concept of 3 because it prepares you for what's next. If you listen to this song and then go to Led Zeppelin 4, it makes sense this was the ending. Also, I think Jimmy Page's slide playing set the foundations for When the Levee Breaks and In My Time of Dying, because he was able to work this technique on this song, and it's really intense. His acoustic work on this number is anything but taking it easy. I think this is prime Robert Plant in full blues band mode, and it's a fitting tribute to American music, to the music they love so much. It's interesting, I've seen a lot of comments from American rock fans not liking this song because I think this song speaks to the core, to the roots of styles and sounds that really influenced Led Zeppelin to become what they were. I know some of you think that Hey Hey What Can I Do was a better closer for Led Zeppelin 3. I challenge you to open a Spotify playlist and replace Hats Off for Hey Hey What Can I Do, and the mood is not the same. The mood of the album changes. So I think Hats Off was the best example of the Page and Plant partnership. They're messengers, travelers of time and space. You really capture the spirit of 1970, and also how they wrote some of these songs, over at the cottage in the mountains. Alright, let's do number 8. It's Down by the Seaside from Physical Graffiti. This is of course an outtake from Led Zeppelin 4, recorded on the same sessions as Stairway to Heaven, if you can believe that. So it's a superb outtake. I believe it should have been on Untitled. It's magnificent because of how Jones plays the keyboards and how Bonham plays the backbeat. It's exquisite. If you like 10 Years Gone, you should like this because it's a similar concept. You have the layered clean guitars and sounds, and then the heavy section in the middle. It's a nice soundtrack, you know. It's a song that you can play while you're driving, walking, waiting in line at the store. It takes you places, and it's always a soothing effect when you listen to this number. Unlike Night Flight from the same sessions for Entitled, this song has actual vision. Also Down by the Seaside proves that keyboards were gonna be more prominent in the future, and again Jumple Jones just makes this song work. A multi-instrumentalist and Led Zeppelin's secret weapon. So a track I really like, Down by the Seaside. Alright, next on our list, Black Country Woman from Physical Graffiti. This is a Houses of the Holy outtake, and it's not a complex song. It's again playful. You can tell they were recording this, you know, in the middle of working other numbers that were more daring, but John Bonham makes this song work. Just when you're getting a bit tired from the vocal interplay and the guitars at the beginning, John Bonham comes in with this big room drum sound. It's punchy and it speaks greatly of the Houses of the Holy Spirit. You know, they're having fun at the mansion where they recorded this. It's a nice photograph of a band that really stuck together and never forgot the spontaneous element that has to be present in music. I know that the story of the song, you know, the lyrics themselves are a bit polarizing.
I know you sisters too.
It's no wonder they rescued this song for the 1977 tour on the acoustic set. Definitely works, and it gets the crowd going. I think Black Country Woman in the album works perfect for what's next. It creates the nice contrast. Robert is inspired when he's singing Black Country Woman, you know, he's having fun. I'm sure he had fun singing this. I was surprised to see this one here. Moby Dick from Led Zeppelin 2, John Bonham's famous drum solo. Yeah, I think you guys don't like this song because past the riff, which is a great riff, it's a catchy riff, that intro, you can't get it out of your head. But I think there's a change of intention going into the drum solo, which is a VIP access to early Bonham dominance, right? It's the sound of the guy who was the 1969 tour MVP, no question. But if you don't like drum solos, I can understand. You know, this song may be too much. I personally love them. You know, if Jimmy Page put out a compilation, a 7-hour compilation of John Bonham live drum solos or studio outtakes, I'll listen to it because I'm a guitarist, as you can see, but I'm really a frustrated drummer. You know, I wanted to be a drummer. I know that John Bonham perfected this solo, and you know, we can go to 1972, 1973, even 1977, and it sounds maybe more powerful, more fluid, but in the studio it's so hard to record a solo, and I think what he captured was lightning in a bottle, and it speaks greatly of the inspiration and the velocity and the movement of the times they were living. It's the kind of song, if you have loud neighbors, you can battle them with this. Let's move on to number 5, and of course it's Karusra. I say of course because I know many Zeppelin fans who don't like this song, but I think it gets a bad rap due to the synthesizer sounds, and that's it. You know, the composition itself is very strong. It's a trilogy of moments. You have 3 intentions, 3 settings. And the melodies to go with it, you know, I'm talking about the vocals, work quite well. I know the vocals are a bit buried in the mix, but the lyrics are quite profound. You know, if you want a biographical recollection of events from 1977 and 1978, this is it. You know, Robert really tells it all. The introduction, I think the sounds we hear at the beginning, they sound like the band arriving at all the concerts in 1977, you know. Robert sings from a fishbowl point of view. I know that the sound of the GX1 may be cheesy for some or dated, but trust me, the composition works. I made a cover of it. You can check here on the channel. It's a Spanish guitar cover of the song, so you can appreciate what the harmony and the melody is through a different perspective. I'm a huge fan of In Through the Outdoor. I mean, I have 65 copies at the time of making this video. their time into the 80s. They were imagining things, and I think this song exemplifies they were willing to take chances. It's such a contrast of intention, Karusra against Kashmir, the Rain song, or Thank You. It's so different, and I think it makes it a great what if question. I don't get tired of listening to it throughout, and how Page uses his guitar, throughout the song is great also. He's not diminished by the synthesizer at all, but everybody's working, contributing. And also, John Paul Jones's bass work on Karusra, worth checking out. Bonham makes it work with very intelligent and musical drumming, and I just wish they played this song on the 1980 tour USA. If it's the synthesizer sounds what throw you off, it doesn't mean it's a crappy song. When it's a bad song, there's nothing redeemable. There are no redeemable qualities. This one is a cinematic recollection of events. Don't go for gossip or those magazines of the 80s. This is what happened, and Robert tells it in the song. It's the perfect soundtrack for the times that we're living. Let's go to number 4, and unfortunately it's another number from In Through the Outdoor. I think I'm alone defending the album, but 65 copies, and I'm proud of owning every single copy, because number 4 is Fool in the Rain. I'll tell you a secret. It's my least favorite song from In Through the Outdoor, but I cannot help to talk about the innovative sounds this song brought to their catalog. There's no other number like this in the Zeppelin world, and the middle section percussion overdubs, from John Bonham, I think are an extension of Bonzo's Montreux, his drum solo. I can understand this can throw off many Zeppelin fans because this is not hard rock. This is not Celtic music. It has no really European influence. This is more on the Latin American side of things. We know that we're watching the Argentinian World Cup, inspired this song. John Bonham's groove here it's infectious, to the point that we have the late drummer Toto's Jeff Porcaro talking about this beat on an instructional video he did.
The John Bonham beat that I copied from Fool in the Rain.
Every drummer knows this is one of the greatest drum grooves Zeppelin ever laid on tape. It's proto Robert Plant solo career adventures going into world music. They chose it as a single for 1979, so that tells you they were proud of this song. For a British band to try Latin music, they did a fantastic job. You can help to admire a band doing this. They are respectful of the music, of the influences, but they give it their own spin. Jimmy's solo is very weird, but in a good way. Jimmy Page, the producer, never left. He always knew what was best for the song. On my In Through the Outdoor documentary series, I played the acoustic stuff he's doing in the background at the end of the song. It sounds like Mexican music and South American music, and how he captured the guitar intentions, ideas on acoustic. Very tricky to play, let me tell you. Fool in the Rain's main motif, it can get tiring to play on guitar. It's simple, but it's deceiving, like everything on In Through the Outdoor. Not an easy album to play at all. Number 3, we have Boogiewood Stew from Physical Graffiti. Again, a Led Zeppelin 4 untitled outtake. For me, it's very simple. If you like rock and roll from 4, this is rock and roll with acoustic guitars and mandolin. It's the same thing, same feeling, same idea, and you have Ian Stewart on piano, so how can you not like this song? It's the unplugged take on Led Zeppelin's rock and roll. Okay, number 2 according to the data is The Crunch, 1973, The Crunch. It feels like a parody, of course, but live versions of this song plus my musician perspective changed my mind. I got a chance to play this with a bass player and a drummer for a Zeppelin tribute. It was so hard to keep up, the timing and the funk of it all. I had to work hard on that guitar part and also understand what they were doing. The bass riff and the drum beat are so complex, venturing into progressive funk. It's anything but easy. When you listen to the studio cut, if Led Zeppelin was a bar band, they make this so entertaining. They can take a parody and make it funk like this. This is a song no Zeppelin tribute band wants to tackle. It's a scary song to do live because if you screw up the minimum detail or part, everything and for the drummer, good luck. I can think of this as a sort of Frank Zappa take on funk. Plant tells a story with humor and it just provides a necessary change of mood and intention from the first 3 numbers from Houses of the Holy. And it really proves and confirms the great chemistry Jones and Bonham had. They steal the show here. Alright, so down to the least favorite Zeppelin song. And again, it's a song from this album. This is the sheet music. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. So let's talk about the least favorite song. Number 1, Hot Dog, is your least favorite Led Zeppelin song. And I really like this one. So I think this is a reshape, regroup song of survival, given the conditions, it was recorded in. They were having fun in tough times. And unlike Darlene, which was recorded in the same sessions, Robert actually pulled off a magnificent vocal because it has great lines, harmonies that work. The harmonies here on Hot Dog are very respectable, and the delivery.
Now my baby's gone, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna give her something like she never had before.
The guitar riff is tricky, not an easy thing to play, and it's a dangerous riff that can play mind tricks when you perform it live in concert. I can tell you it's a deceiving riff, and the solo, not easy at all.
You can do it!
In the same way rock and roll was on Untitled, this song, it started as a jam thing in the middle of working other numbers from the album. So it's tension and release, much needed release. And if we check into the author, the album cover, I do think that Hot Dog is the song that's playing on the jukebox at the bar. Tell me if you don't hear Hot Dog here, even though the guy is, having a bad day, but Hot Dog makes sense with the bar. Jones's piano skills on the track on the studio version, fantastic. You can even hear some ABBA inspired things going on. And like hats off to Roy Harper, this is a fitting tribute to American music. We know Zeppelin loved Elvis's music and all the other 50s songbook classics. So Hot Dog is an homage to the music that motivated them to play music in the first place. So if you like the Whole Lotta Love medleys, the rockabilly cover sections, Hot Dog is right in the same alley. So I'm again surprised that some fans enjoy the medleys, but they hate Hot Dog when it's the same thing. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but it really tells you what the United States meant for them. It was a playground. It was the big market. It was a place where their big audience was, and they had a very special place for North America in their hearts. They sure never went to Texas anymore, unfortunately. Hot Dog definitely tells me why Darlene, Ozone Baby, and Wearing and Tearing were not considered for the album, because Hot Dog was the best transition piece they needed for the rest of the material. So that would be it for me here from the studio. If this video helped you change your mind, if there's no way you're going to change your mind on the songs, and maybe you have other tunes that you don't like that you didn't mention before, let me know in the comment section. Remember to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe, and please stay tuned for the next one. So thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.